Hello. Hello. Hello.
Blue, 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 blue. Blue, 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 blue. Alright. I need to stop looking at Twitter because it's just nothing but boobies. Alright, so that thingy-majiggy is running right now, and then I gotta go over to this thingy-majiggy. And I forgot to turn off the group's thingy-majiggy. That... Nope, keep that running. Turn that one off. There we go. Hi. Welcome. Happy Monday. Boobies are great. Yes, boobies are great. Thank you, Alvirus.
Alvirus has added quote number 383. I need to stop looking at Twitter. It's nothing but boobies.
That is 100% an agreeable quote. That is my favorite quote of this year so far. Congratulations, Alvirus, because like that's honestly what my Twitter is even after I've cleaned it up after all this time and made it so that like my Twitch is now associated or some nonsense. Like, oh, everyone can get swords. Hang on a second, I want to get my gun. Come on. Oh, damn it, I didn't get in with the sword. I think I have a preference. I most certainly do. Hi there, Code. Welcome to the stream. Happy Monday. Hopefully everyone is doing okay. I still need to plug in my Xbox controller. And so then that way I can be at the readies. I hope everyone is doing okay. It was another day of work for me. Monday? Yeah, it's Monday. Monday! Some of us have to work on Monday, weirdly enough. I don't have to work on the Tuesday, thankfully. Monday, just like, you can do it. And it just like fucking drives off a bridge. I need to find this TikTok video because there's a TikTok out there where it's basically this guy that like just is driving for a moment and then he just like turns real sharply and just drives off a cliff into the ocean or something, and he's listening to the Barbie song from Aqua. I'm about to tell you some really bad news, Code, about the Barbie movie. I very much want to see this, but this tested me. The Barbie World song from Aqua will not be played in the Barbie film. I am devastated. We don't get the Barbie song. Fucking bullshit. What's the point of that song? We got a Barbie movie. We could have gotten so much more. It would have been so great. It would have worked. What else? We've been going through all these nostalgia like TV shows like Stranger Things and Star Wars and like, oh, let's just ow. Thank you for the 69 bits, Code. Horny you making me extra himbo. But yes, like we've been getting so many like nostalgia bait movies and TV shows with the classic songs in them and such. Dragon Killin', thank you for the follow. Hopefully you're doing okay. Excuse the fact that someone decided to like have a himbo cam on me because someone decided, you know, that's what they wanted to see.
Jason wants you to stretch. remember to stretch.
I've only just... Okay, stretching. You set up the video as the alert, right? Yes. That video there, the bonking thingamadiggy, that's done via... I had that being done via stream elements because that was basically going to happen with that many bits, and I made it so that it was a variation of my bit alert in... Stop looking at my tits! Why? It's so soon into the stream! This is my best time to have my best foot forward, and plus, you know what? I'm gonna move over to the Whatsamahoozy game screen, so then that way the next time you do the boobies thingy-madiggy, it's gonna like put me back in this position instead of like the previous one. Because I don't yet know how to tell Vinyan of like, oh, capture the current camera I'm on, and then swap over to the other one. Darn you. But looking at your tits is fun. Fun. Alright, speaking of fun, I gotta do my 20 squats. Big stretch! Stretch those legs! Big stretch for the big boy! Hi there, furry cures. I was worried that you weren't arriving. And of course, Jason wants to see my tits. Code, control your man. He is hunting the hornies.
This is beautiful.
Ah, you're my biggest fan, furry cures. Thank you. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I'm almost hitting my mic. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Thank you for the 20 squats, Jason. Very much appreciate it. Alrighty. We're continuing on with our mission. We are so close to the end, I can feel it. We just need to get through Ilium. I also need to stop the background music. Pause that shit.
Oh, this is beautiful.
This is beautiful. Alrighty, so we're close to the end.
Gonna report me again?
We got a new cool lightsaber with different colors.
Let's get him!
And we're starting on like the higher difficulty here.
Whoa, watch it!
Because we were playing like on too low of a difficulty, I felt, with some of our bosses.
Got him! I can't hit him! We'll win easy.
There we go. There we go. Alright, hang on. I also forgot to turn off the intro fighters. Hang on a second. Who won? Congratulations, Masonic, with the 14 kills. God damn. So many kills. Nice work, Masonic. Alrighty. So yeah, so we now have like a cool... We've got like new lightsabers parts. We got the Kyber crystal from here, which means we get new colors.
This is beautiful.
Oh no.
How do we get to him?
Help!
Where did he go? We've got him! Someone else take him down! He's got one of us! He's hit!
Oh.
BD, Stim! Help, BD!
Alright, how do I stop this? Okay, I think I know how to do this. Oh, nope, did not time that. I used to be able to do this like easily on the earlier difficulty, but now I don't think I can. Okay, so probably not the most successful that way.
Up here!
Alright, so. Got a new Kyber crystal, which means we get all kinds of new colors. Oh, come on.
I'm sure we'll beat you. Charge forward. He's evading. He's damaged. Try stopping these. I'll get after him. I hit him. Someone else get in here. All units, Jedi is down. Repeat.
So yeah, we're playing on grandmaster difficulty, which means, like, rather than going through this kind of stuff like really quickly like I did before, now I'm going through it with a little bit more difficulty. But it makes the prediction polls for when I go into the fights and what have you. It makes them a lot more interesting.
Down here. Enemy contact. Okay, I'm done. He's damaged.
Ow.
Let's take him on. Let's keep up. Be faster. We got it.
I can barely see what I'm doing.
Target's hurt. Finish this.
BD, stim here.
You're still going down. Stay on you.
Okay, how are you still alive? There we go.
If you don't scare me. Come on.
There.
Stim here, buddy.
Target has the high ground.
Yes, I have the high ground. Oh, I can just jump here, can't I? Hopefully this helps. I don't know where this will lead me. Probably not where I need to go. Yeah, most likely where I don't need to go. Okay, maybe it's where I need to go?
Seer, I remember the wonder of these caves. How I couldn't wait to complete my training and become a Jedi Knight.
Jedi observed.
I hear you. I'll get after him.
Systems failing. Trivial opposition.
He's moving.
Get out of my way.
He's hit. I think I'm done. You cannot bypass this outpost.
Inferior Jedi. Caution.
There we go.
Help, please.
Critical dodge. Dodge detected.
There we go. There we go. Ow. Explosion. Sorry. Okay, where does this... What does this give me? Hopefully this gives me a way out. So, yeah. Granted, I'm like completely missing. Hi there, Sky. Welcome to the stream.
This is beautiful.
Lol. Jason, once again, being my biggest fan. Sorry, Furry Curious, you're no longer my biggest fan. It's now Jason. Dun, 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 dun. All right, where the hell is this? Oh, it's just a cool-ass cave. Oh, Jesus.
BD, help, please.
You're the best.
Alrighty. Take quite a hit with... There we go. What does this do? Why is it so hard to set up a variation in stream elements?
Mindful of your...
Hang on. Should just be a Control N. Dun, 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 dun. Log in. Twitch.
Oh, this is beautiful.
Beautiful. Jason just pumping those numbers up real fast. Streaming tools, overlays, cookie for Jason. So yeah, so my elements, like the whole alerts, like it's in the, like for me it's in like a layer for purple alerts, if it will talk to me. You go to settings for, like, that's on the left side, and it will tell you, it's like, oh, you can have this alert for follower, subscriber, tip, cheer, host, raid, purchase, yada yada yada. If you click on the gear icon for the cheer alert, and then you'll have, like, down the bottom variation settings, and it's here you can create new variations. And it's there that you do, like, the thingamadiggy of telling you, like, you know, the exact amount of done that. Add new variation, and I can say it's a copy from, let's see, the video bit cheers, my 1000 bits for the cowboy, and I'm gonna change it from video bits 1000 to 1785. Build a barn. Hang on a second. I need to find a video really quickly. One moment, because I already know the build a barn. What do you think this is? 7. Okay, is this the one I'm looking for? It's 10 seconds long. It's 6 months. The barn? Yeah, this is the one I want. Okay, hang on a second. You don't build a barn, dumbass. What do you think this is, 1785? One moment. All right, so I need to paste this link. It won't play the video you're using. Download. All right, downloads that thingamadiggy. Cool. And then I go up to here, and then 1780. Wait, does he say 1785? Yes, he does. Cool. 1785. So the exact amount. Set video. I'm going to need to upload a new video. Select files. I wish I could just direct it to YouTube videos, so then that way I don't have to, like, tell it, oh, hey, I want you to like, I don't have to keep, like, a copy, and it's using my resources. All right, where is the video? All right, what do you think this is? 1785. So we upload the video, and then it's in my thingy. I hit submit, and there's not going to be any sound. Like, there isn't going to be an additional sound. There's just going to be the sound of the video itself. It's a 10-second long alert, so I need it. So I'm going to put down 11 seconds, so then that way there's just an extra second in case it takes too long. There we go. There's no transitions or anything like that. Save variation. And one of the cool things is that there's a play, there's a settings, and then there's a duplicate button. Now, if I click play... Oh, wait. I need to... build a barn, dumbass. I forgot. I need to save the element. So I need to go up to the top right, hit save. Now, if I go and press play... Need barn. It's going to take us 6 months. Build a barn. What do you think this is? 1785. There we go. So now I have a new video for 1,785 bits, and it's just And it's just so it's like, you know, build a barn, dumbass. What do you think this is? 1785? So. Remind me later about that installation. Any whoosies. So yeah.
Motions, young one.
But Master, this is easy.
Yep, that helps. Alright, where does this lead me? Nope, still won't play that video. Huh. Where the hell am I? Alright, rest up here. Hit the skill point thingy-madiggy, because I have new skills, I'm pretty sure. Let's see. Increase Cal's maximum force, stim thingy-madiggies, yanking peeps, powerful pushes, double-bladed around Cal. What does that look like? That's cool. Alrighty. Are you sure you have the overlay? Like, is it not playing in the overlay editor that you've got? Or is it not playing in the OBS? Both. Okay, so first we need to add the video.
These caves. Why are we here? I'm sure they have a good reason. Yeah, and what would that be? I don't know. You'd have to ask them. Hostile, get ready! Yeah, okay. He's hit! Our ranged backup is down! I'm after him! Move back! That's it. It's all over now.
There we go. Oh, you got something here?
You got something, buddy?
Oh, cool. It's a crystal. Hi there, Chase.
What'd you find,
Cool. We got a data bank on kyber crystals. All right. So it's not playing in either the overlay, and it did get open. Oh, god damn it.
Let's give him a thrashing. I just can't hit him. Smash him. I'll never break his guard. Got a runner! It's a range fight now.
Oh, Jesus.
I need help, bud.
All right. I am not yet dead. You just vibing at home, drawing the PNG model for your friend? Oh, is that the one you shared in the arts channel? Uploaded the video, selected 69 bits. You remove the old sound, save, still nothing. Amount exactly 69 bits? Hang on.
Assail the intruder!
Oh.
Don't let him escape! Look it!
Yeah!
Hear me!
Oh, Jesus.
Watch him!
Approach and identify yourself. Incompetent.
Should run. Hurry, catch him!
Unproductive human.
Oh, I don't have, like,
They're
any
lighting
force.
up Imperial channels. They're sending everything they've got.
Oh, cool. They don't
Are
try
you
and chase
in
after
Greece
me.
safe?
You'll worry about it
We're
later
lighting
when
up
I'm
the
not
storm
streaming.
clear.
Fair
We won't
e
have any cover.
nufsies.
What about disguising the Mantis' signal?
That trick only works if they're not.
He just Oh, what did Chase say? He just reached Philly. He doesn't have any emotes or a model yet, so you're making one as a surprise. I reckon they will really appreciate it. Like, you make some really amazing art. Can someone give a shout out for Chase as well? Because like they do streaming as well. They do Call of Duty mobile stuff, and I think they've done an art stream once or
I've
twice.
through their encryption. I'm scrambling transmissions, but it won't be long before they're restored. Hopefully it'll buy us some time.
Thank you, Co. Thank you, Jason.
There's stormtroopers everywhere.
Ilum was our planet, Cal. Don't let them forget that.
All right, use this to get all our thingy-majiggies back. We rest up, cool. Get all our containers back. And then, yeah, how far are you in the game so far? We're at Ilum, so we're really close to like the quote-unquote like sort of reaching the conclusions. I would say like we're at like the third act.
Taking us on hit.
Watch the target.
There we go. There we go.
You will regret that.
Here we go. That's one. That's two. There we go. But yeah. Bots make me blush. Oh, don't be afraid of the bot, okay? It gives shoutouts to loads of people. Watch as it gives a shout out to Code the Yoshi.
I'm done with this one.
Scanner's failing. Be sorry.
It will do. It will do a. There we go. Thank you, Jason. I knew the robot was going to do something cool.
They've broken through and called reinforcements. Every Star Destroyer in the sector is on their way here.
Oh, it's no longer like huge amount of snow
We
outside.
didn't come all this way to get captured. I'll be there. See her. We've got company. Tell Grease to close the Mantis.
What? With the Empire on your tail? Are you crazy, kid?
Trust me.
We do. We'll close the ship.
Right here, BD.
God damn it.
Toss me one, BD.
You're planning on something you got on COD? You have a gun that shoots out bits? Ooh, that sounds cool. Just gotta run around in circles. Get them all confused and the such. I'm glad that I got the upgrade where it's sprinting. Oh, Jesus, hands. What are you doing? I'll fix you when I'm not, like, under threat. There we go.
Right here, bud.
Come on. Lol. Lol was able to get him.
Help me! Here!
Got it. Hey, the hands are fixed, and I didn't have to do anything about... Alright, hello, good sir. You're dead. I knew I could take on those two. If I wasn't at the grandmaster difficulty, it would be like a lot like quicker as well. Alrighty, what's over here? Because I couldn't see this because of all the storm. Alright, new echo.
Younglings, the time of the gathering is upon us. Use your skills wisely.
There we go. Got myself more thingy-ma-digs. The ammo shells are Twitch bit crystals. They look like what it is funny, but the gun looks like it's something you'd see in Destiny. Well, Destiny has like a little bit of their weapons grounded in reality. Just a teeny bit, like the kinetic weapons at
I
least.
used to sit on Braca dreaming about storming Coruscant with survivors from the Jedi Council. Hold it.
Hold it. I need to like see if there's any cool new because I totally forgot to double check if there was like any new thingy-ma-diggies. Wait, why is Jason... No, never mind. Let's see. Emitters. So that's Sarah Jude's. Duty and Resolve. Power... Actually, you know what? I'm gonna switch to Power Gain Control for that one. Nut! Nut! Let's see. That's Passion. That's... Gonna keep to that one, and then... So that's Power and Control, Passion and Strength, Peace and... Switch to the Peace and Justice. Yeah, I'm gonna stick to that, and then... Yeah, I'm gonna stick to Cyan. Alrighty. Any cooler materials that might work? Nah, I think we're at a good... I think this is good. Boom. There we go. But yeah. The Twitch gun sounds like a really cool idea, Chase.
Hey, kid. Nice one on the seed collecting. But the terrarium's still got plenty of room. So, you know, get out there and get me some seeds.
Sure, Grease. Whatever you say.
Grease wants seed. Alright, hang on.
Let's talk later, Cal.
Not now. I got work to do.
Lol. I didn't want to talk to them real quick. I was like, oh, I gotta go deal with the lightsaber. And now they don't want to talk to me at all.
On Zepho? Think there's any good loot in that thing?
Well, you've already done the looking around at Zepho, so might as well just go to Dathomir. Dathomir, thank you very much.
Back to Dathomir.
We have important things to do at Dathomir.
Dathomir, huh?
It's time I faced him.
Yes. You're ready to face your past.
What about you and Trilla?
I don't know if I'll ever be ready.
Probably not.
You know what you need to do to start healing, and I'm so proud of you for that. I have my own path.
I'm here for you if you need me.
Excellent. I want to sit down.
We're about to drop out of hyperspace.
There we go.
Sit down.
Yeah. Into Dathomir once again. Round 2. I remember when I played this game originally, I went straight to Dathomir, like once it was open for me, thinking that was the right way to go. Didn't get very far with it.
We'll be fine. We'll be fine. Any bets on what horrible thing will happen this time? More dead things, giant spiders, killer plants?
All of the above.
Don't
Yep.
say that.
Or maybe the Haxian brood will come and find us.
Are you both still mad at me? The Grease guy?
Not at all.
Mad isn't the word I'd use.
Hey, you gotta admit, though, I paid you back in thrills. How many slubs get on the Haxian brood's most wanted list, huh?
If you weren't such a good pilot,
many.
I'd hand you over myself.
Better keep your skills up, Greasy.
Alrighty. Uh-huh. Alright. First and foremost, get out of this pawn show. Yep, BD can stay as is. You can stay as cool as you are. Climb up. I can't wait when I play Jedi Survivor and we'll be able to, like, play, you know, Cal Kestis with more than just poncho options. We'll be able to, like, do all kinds of shit. There we go. This way. I want to go this way. I think I'm going the right way. Oh, come on. God damn fucking spiders.
A little help, bud.
There we go.
Stim here, BD.
We don't get a lot of heals with our stim at the level our health thingy-majiggy is at. There we go. Alright, let's see if we can use this skill point for something. Something useful, hopefully. Skill tree. Let's have a look. Dashing forward more. We've already done all the stim increases we can. I know I can get, like, more stim pack things from, like, the previous planets, but I think 5 is a good number, because I'm not, like, running out of health, like, because of, with the stim packs. It's more of a case I'm getting hit with too hard of a hit, and I'm, like, misassessing. Let's see. Holding allows to slow the duration for longer. Increases the distance that can travel with a dash. Hold, yeah. Dashing is when I hold it. And then I already got that thingy-madiggy. So yeah, so really probably try and get the power of friendship would be much more beneficial out of all the other stuff I can use. Could you guys? Okay, why are you guys, like, so strong against... That makes no sense. Hang on, let me... Alright, meditate once again. Rest, get the full health. Because I don't want to use a stim on these peeps. These should be the simple enemies. Here they are. There we go. I'm fine with like 1 or 2 hits. I'm not fine if they put me into the red quickly. Yep. Never mind, because she was able to do that.
Hey, bud! Stim!
Had to use the stim anyway. God damn. Alright. Hopefully you guys aren't dealing with any lag on my side. Oh. Brood Clan. Which means we're going to be running into a fight shortly, and we're going to be running into a boss fight. Which means time to start a prediction poll. Vote now on your devices. Thank you for the follow, Chroma the Sage. Welcome to the stream. I'm just running a really quick Is it starting it? Yes, it is. I am just running a really quick prediction poll on whether or not I am going to face off against this robot up there and succeed. Titties. Titties. Wow. 2 of you don't think I have what it takes to take on this robot at our current difficulty. How dare. How dare. No faith in me whatsoever? Just get a little bit. All right, so it's the duo again. I guess they always throw him at 2s. Let's see. Let's see. We got someone throwing in a like 500-600 point. They're pushing that number up. Does no one trust that I will win on my first go? No one at all? All right, time to focus. Let's see. 5, 4, 3, 2,
Hello.
1. What is something that makes you feel seen? Seen?
What's that over there?
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Is it that fucking memester? Because I told someone about this channel recently. I didn't think that was their name, though. Hi, Astro. Welcome to the stream. I'm about to get my ass kicked in a boss fight. Ow. Oh, Jesus.
Okay, okay.
A little help, bud.
That won't kill me.
Ow.
Want a shot at him?
Let's get him.
He's quick, huh?
Oh, ooh, Jesus.
Take it off.
Buddy, help!
Watch your arm.
Here it comes!
Here it goes.
Right over there!
BD! Help me! Here!
I want to get rid of that guy there.
Can't catch me.
You are tough. You're going down!
Here I go. He's almost down.
Buddy!
Head down. Don't let up. Catch. Oh, he's so quick, isn't it? Time to end it.
Oh, come on.
Here it comes!
Going up. Come on, you're better than that. Need to reload.
Damn it! They did know I was gonna fail this fight. This is a pain of a fight. It's a pain of a fight because there's 2 of them. I have to do like 2 different kinds of thingy-majiggies. Take off his shirt? No, do not take off my shirt. Alrighty. Now, the real question. Are they... How? Oh, it's because I clicked on the thingy-majiggy when it... Alright, hit the thingy, hit the B. So, I hope they're still there. There we are. I hope the bounty hunters are still there. If they're not, then it's gonna be annoying. Oop. But yeah, Chroma the Sage. What is it that makes me feel seen? Just people saying hi to me is a little bit crazy, because I'm like, oh, cool. You want to talk? So, it's always appreciated when people say hi. So, yeah. A part of me feels, though, as well, because of that, the way you made that comment as well, made me think I might know who this Chroma the Sage is. Nope, they're not here. God damn it. Yep, cool. Got my life force back. Alright. Meditate here real quick. Because I think I need to do the meditation here. So then that way I can go to the door. Alright, let's see. Interact with the door. Yep, alright, there we go. We're back in our thingy-majiggy. We're back in our little mind palace where the Force tells us that we're a failure and all this kind of nonsense.
You were wrong to return here unarmed.
Not unarmed.
You think that lightsaber proves you a Jedi?
No. Chasing you. Memories that have haunted me since Braca. I won't run from them anymore.
Then let us see what manner of death your courage brings.
Alright.
If you cannot surpass my teaching, then you will die here. Have you truly learned nothing new? Lazy. Show what you are truly capable of. Impressive. But is power the answer?
Nope. Because it's all in our head. It doesn't matter how we take on this fight. We have to accept that things are outside of our control.
Master, I will never forget. The loss has become a part of me. I will honor your teaching and your sacrifice.
Plus, you know, his master told us before he left, trust in the Force. So, the Force was really just here to test us.
Persistence reveals the path.
Ooh. Alright. We now have further in.
He's running away! I'll get you!
Don't let him rally! Another enemy!
I must try harder! I got you!
You can't win, outsider!
Bam. Oh, there it is. Come on, take another shot. Idiot. Idiot. Alrighty, so we got a door there, but we also have... For some reason, we can climb on this thing. What's here? Oh, cool, another thingy-majiggy to tell us about something. Meow.
We shouldn't be here. This place is cursed.
Don't be scared. Remember, we have a deal. You promised to teach me your magics.
Oh yeah, the Fallen Jedi. So, he's doing some queer stuff.
Fallen sisters.
And
This
Miriam
man
is just
promised to
unhappy.
grant us our vengeance, but only if I teach him our magic. Forgive me. I must ally with Malicos.
Alrighty. Time to take on Malicos. I'm pretty sure, you know, we're about to get into a fight with Malicos. Yep, we are. Alrighty, chat,
You
get
chose to
ready.
return. Brave, but not wise.
Maybe. Marin, right? I'm Cal Kestis. What you were told about the Jedi was not true.
So you say. Cal. Malicos said many things too.
Terran Malicos might have been part of my order, but what he is now, I have no idea.
He's a madman is what he is.
All I do know is having a lightsaber isn't what makes you a Jedi.
Then what does?
We were peacekeepers. We were betrayed by those we protected. Hunted down by the Empire. I might be one of the last of my kind.
Maybe. Although, I think timeline-wise, like, this is
I was only a
5
child when
years...
they attacked.
This is set 5 years after Order 66 at the very least. So we'd actually have a few Jedi actually. We don't know where Quinlan Voss is, first off. And then we got Obi-Wan. And Obi-Wan's technically keeping
An
an eye
armored
on,
warrior
you know,
brandishing
Luke.
this descended upon us and cut down my people, my sisters, until I was left alone with the dead. Then Malicos came.
She's probably talking
and
about the
promised me
attack General
revenge
Grievous
if
did
I
on
shared
the
our secrets with
village.
him in return.
I know what it's like to lose everything. And Malicos was wrong to use that against you.
Damn, Cal has a lot of scars on him, I realized.
Don't have to be enemies.
Look, he's got one across, like, his nose there, then he has something on his chin, and then on one on his eyebrow. Sorry, not
We
his
will
chin,
need
his
this.
lip. And she just does
She goes
magic.
again.
I'll be watching.
Let's get out of here.
Alrighty.
Malicos lies ahead. You could turn back.
I can't. Lives are at stake.
Whose lives?
Innocents. Poor sensitive children who will be hunted down and murdered.
As we were.
My friend, I have never been one to shy away from the pursuit of knowledge.
I have never been one to shy away. Immediately takes a detour to grab Force Echoes and shit, because I don't
Something
wanna be
terrible
exposed.
happened here. A massacre. They
Oh,
killed
let me
their
get a
own
new skill
kind
point.
for promises of power.
Alrighty. No one apparently has, you know, faith in me being able to take on Malicos. I feel very betrayed by my chat for this one.
Cal Kestis.
Malicos.
Hello, crazy Terran.
Here to begin your training. What in these ruins tempts you so much to risk death?
I could ask you the same thing.
There is power there. Beyond Jedi understanding. Power I control.
Not interested.
I would offer you the same thing.
We just
you
want,
understand?
like, the Astrum or some
I'm not
weird
interested in
orb.
power. I want to restore the Order.
Restore the Jedi Order. Oh, you poor fool. It's over! Jedi fell long before the Purge. It was stifled by tradition. Deafened by our past glories. Blinded by endless war.
Maybe. But it's never over, Malicos. We stand here now, the chance to learn. To rebuild from our mistakes.
Jedi learn. There's no future for them. Why can you not see that? It's time for something new. You and me. We could build something different.
Nope.
Something better.
Disagree.
No.
And Dathomir will be your grave.
Alright, time to fight.
Only cowards run. Come on!
Hey, bud. Stim.
You are not powerful enough. Good for nothing, Jedi. Lucky hit! Cannot stop me. No one can.
Here we go.
My mind is sharp. Blocking won't help. Too slow.
Right here, BD.
I've survived worse. Come! Kill me if you dare! Oh, you're a quick one!
I did pretty well. I did pretty well in that fight, quite frankly. I was able to go like over halfway in that fight. I can do better. And what's more is I was doing it with like barely any understanding of like his combos or anything like that. I'm gonna get the timing right, don't you worry. Let's get another one. Let's get another prediction going.
Intruder below!
Move it! Was that a hit? Solid blow! Another falls to our might.
That doesn't count. I just want to say very quickly that fight didn't count, okay? Not for this prediction right here. Is this thing on? It better be. The little cities.
I got it.
Thank you, Masonic.
Bone
There
Nasty
we go.
Dog thinks you should do 20 squats.
Hi there, Bone. Welcome to the stream. Wow. Alright, I'm gonna do the 20 squats. Refund that one, because we basically didn't get anywhere with it. Alright. Big stretch! Big stretch for the big boy! Alright, here we go. What do you guys want from me? What is it you don't like? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Quote 107.
5.
I just want my duck
6,
sucked. Is that too much to ask?
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
Quote 317.
16.
Hi Bone, how is your 68
17,
kilograms ass?
18, 19, 20. Thank you for the 20 squats. Alrighty. Ding dong bing. Alright, we gotta go through this thingamadiggy. How is your evening or morning going, Bone? Hopefully it's going alright. Hopefully nothing too bad. The Tomb of Kujet. You was just talking with your twin? Hey, that's pretty good. Ding dong. Alright, cool. Sorry, I just had to double check a message from work, but not a huge problem. Alright. Now we're gonna start the proper prediction now that we went through like the first two like mini fights. Now we're gonna get ready for the big fight down there. I think I made one of my friends crazy. I don't think you can make friends crazy, but you can certainly make your friends mad. You can make them angry. You can make them mad. What did you do? Alright, hang on. So left is for the single blade, dual blade. Alright, we're gonna keep to the single blade. No. So wait, did you make them crazy or did you make them angry? Because I think you made them angry. Sippies. Also, I needed to like... I usually have the mic like here, but maybe that's too close. Maybe I need to have it like all the way back here instead. Because it's like right here. Alrighty. Oh, don't get too close. I still have like 10 more seconds in the poll. They met my twin and I in the same room. Oh! Oh, are you, what's the, like, there's two different kinds of twins. So there's the twins where, like, they're not likely to be identical twins, where they where it's like, you know, two embryos that get, that get, like, you know, the whole incepted and all that kind of nonsense. But then there's the other kind of twin where they actually, it's one, like, egg getting split into two. They're just fraternal? Oh, okay. Alrighty. Prediction done, and everyone thinks I'm gonna fail this.
Kill me if you dare! See, Padawan, I have focus. You lack finesse. You will not beat me! Dodging won't save you. Too slow.
Up here!
I hardly felt that. Come! Kill me if you dare! Shall not hit!
Take him on. Hi there, Jack. Oh, not fair.
I was wrong to think you could stand with me! Die with
You have no right to touch the mirror. No right to our magic.
You got 10 seconds to finish your objectives before Pathmere becomes prey.
Get up, Cal
Get the
Kestis.
Astrium.
You're not dead yet.
And take it back to the place.
Strike me down! I won't let you strike me down.
Very good, Jedi.
Oh, Jesus.
BD, stim!
trained by the Sith? No, not me personally, but that guy there went crazy and is now a fallen Jedi. I did not win that match. But we got over the halfway mark, so now I'm pretty sure I know what I need to do. Use the Force. Yes, absolutely. I will use the Force. Alrighty, here we go. Just need to get rid of
Get
these.
the intruder! You don't have real power! Move up slowly as others! Enough running! Shakes in fear! This pain means nothing!
I need a stim, BD.
Alright, that did not work as well as I hoped, and I kind of don't want to waste a stim. I need to be, like, a lot better at this. They met my twin in the same room. They had some same craziness level as me, and they told the story of how I met someone to save them. Bit the person hurting them in the ankle. Wait, they bit someone? What the fuck? What kind of friend is this? Who bites people? Alright, let's try. Alright, let's try and go through this. Oh, you bit someone. I thought they bit someone.
Shakes in fear! Brothers, aid me!
There we go. Got him. I wouldn't bite people. Why would you think that? All right. We're past those two people. Let's try this prediction poll another time. Third time's the charm. Also, Siri, stop sending me notifications. So yeah, it's fine that I use like some of my stims. So, because what I can do is I can just go after that guy, hit him in the back, and then I get all my health back and I can use the Force again. They were hurting my twins, so I bit them in the ankle. You're not supposed to bite people, though. That's not supposed to be a thing you do. All right, hang on. I need to get into position. I need to sit up. I need to be ready. I am ready. Alrighty, here we go. Here we go. Got to do the slow walk. What is it, Jack? I'm about to focus. Here's a boost. Thank you for the hyper himbo. I greatly appreciate. I was wondering where the boost was going to come from. I thought you were going to jump on them. You jumped off the Bone. Sometimes you say unhinged shit. Why'd you fart in my stream? Who farted in my stream? Thank you for the 50 bits, but who farted in my stream? All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Come on! Mind is sharp!
Yeah!
You will not be...
Grandmaster Dog has added quote number 384, who farted in my stream WHO
Oh, I thought I backed away from that far enough.
That was nothing! You're wretched! I'm too quick for you!
Alright, I did that way too quickly. Still failed, but I know what I'm doing. Despite the losses, I know exactly what I need to do to get my victory in this grandmaster difficulty. You as a child. Oh, this was 11 years ago. I thought this was something that happened recently. This sounded like something that happened recently when you were saying, oh, like, you know, a twin met, like, someone met your twin or something.
Shakes in fear. This pain means nothing. I'll get you. Pay for the Jedi.
There we go.
I will stop.
There we go. Got him. Alrighty. Run the prediction. Why is your force recovery so low? I don't know. It might be because of the fact that I'm like, you know, I'm playing at the like, hang on. Since I'm at the Jedi Grandmaster difficulty, my incoming damage and the enemy aggression is, I just realized, Bone's message is like blocking the thingy-madiggy. So it just needs to like go like up. Hi there, Sky. Welcome to the... See, look at that. Enemy aggression, maximum. Disable button mashes in quick time. Nah. Auto lock in combat. Nah. Auto grip in climbable walls. Alright. Film gray. Turn that off. Chromatic aberration. Turn off. Camera shake. Turn off. Anything else? No. Alright, so yeah, we're running at the Grandmaster difficulty right now.
Did you see it?
Did I see what? Here we go, here we go, here we go. Alright, time to run. Time to... You just finished your own gaming sesh? Hey, good for you, Sky! How was your game? Was it fun?
Come on!
130. Did you get a bikini code?
Dodging won't save you. Try that again. Back, Jedi. Too slow. Come on.
Ow.
BD, here!
There we go.
You lack finesse. That was nothing.
Oh.
BD, stim here!
Only cowards run. Not too quick for you.
BD, stim here!
Okay, that's unfair that he just, you know, does that.
Blocking won't help. I've survived worse.
BD, I need help!
Alright, here we go. Ah, come on. Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go! Little help, BD.
Lucky hit!
You die, Maliko!
So sorry. I'm getting better. This is like my second. This is probably like my second or. Yeah, no, this is my second like major boss in the Grandmaster difficulty. Grandmaster, yes, Choji. Yes, I am playing at the Grandmaster difficulty. Also, there's like a grinding noise. What in the world is all this? What the hell is all this? Note to self, I need to get a mouse pad again. Third try. Well, technically this is like the fourth.
Strike him! Your blows are
Bolmaskidon has added port number 355. Note to self, get a mouse pad.
Will do. Alright, come on. There we go. Got the timing down for that one. No harm in gaining distance from him? I would like to think so, but I wish like my whole like throwing the lightsaber would be enough, but you know, it doesn't like even when I think I'm in range, it doesn't seem to go far enough. Oh, did I not do the hang on. Here we go. Let's try this again. Cause hang on, let me just go to my skill tree. Throws the double. Performing a special while switching lightsaber. Yep. Yeah, I've already increased the range of the lightsaber throw, so like this should already like be far enough to hit him, but it isn't. So, and I can't do any of these increases. Not many of them would be it. Maybe this one? Like, attacking out of a sprint allows Cow to... yeah, attacking... Dashes forward is attack, jumping while dashing to flip over the target instead. Whenever he gets unblockable red. Well, no, I know what unblockable is. I'm gonna be able to do this. People have confidence in me. We're gonna do the slow walk. Don't. We're gonna do the slow walk.
Good for nothing, Jedi! That was nothing!
There we go.
Come on! You only delay the inevitable.
Quote 42.
Shall not hit
If
you!
you want to have a magical dude with muscles, you go a barbarian with wide magic or totem guard.
Come on! Not too slow for me.
Quote 314. This is a really tall wiener. Jesus.
Darn. That one was really fast. Alright, also, I'm gonna say, yep, those thingamajiggies have been done. Alright, here we go. Ow. Let's get the countdown started.
Brothers, an intruder! Don't let him rally! I missed!
No, do not count this one. 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 That is not the fight I'm talking about. That is not the fight I'm talking about. I should really reduce the time on that rather than it being 90 seconds. I should really put it back to 60. 60 should have been long enough. Now I have to...
I got you. For your blood. A weak blow.
One victory squats are in your future. Noted. Hang on. Skill tree. So yeah, because that would give me the force, which doesn't help me. Allows Cow to send a group of enemies and knock down large. Maybe that one? Increases the distance that he can dash forward. Performing a precision evade, briefly slows an enemy, and recovers a small amount. You know what? Let's put it into that. Maybe that will help me. Alrighty. Let's get to the boss battle. A whoopee cushion? Yeah, some people throw whoopee cushions.
Prepared to die, Jedi? Move forward! Shakes in fear! Stop this! Come, fight me! Yeah!
Let's try this one. We're trying on like half the health that we normally do, but we'll see how we go. Gotta put all the focus. And not just, you know...
Good for nothing, Jedi! Shall not hit! I've survived worse. Strike me down!
Oh yeah, I was on half health. Well, sorry, Bone, but cookies are for winners. Cookies are for winners, I'm sorry to say. Alright. Hi there, Bookie. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for lurking. Alright. Also, I'm just gonna go back into my speaker bot. Sorry, not speaker bot, Twitch bot. And I'm gonna fix the prediction start fighting thingy-madiggy. Because I had it set to like 60 seconds previously, because it was a case of like, you know... It would most likely only need to be 60 seconds. And then some people were like, oh no, I missed it and shit. And I'm like, okay, I'll do it to 90. But they still missed it, and it's like, I'm not gonna do it to like...
Brothers, aid me! Stop him from moving! We can win, brothers! You will die, Jedi. Stop cowering and fight.
Come on. There we go. You are a winner, but you bet against me. Oh, you are a winner, you bet against me. Ah, okay. Well, let's see how we go this time around. I'm just losing. Yeah. Alrighty. Let's do this slow walk. I know exactly how I'm gonna... Alright. Nothing but focus right now. Nothing but focus, nothing but focus, nothing but focus.
Come on! I hardly felt that! Dodging won't save you.
Up here!
You lack finesse! That was nothing! I hardly felt that!
Speedy, stim here!
Last time I was able to... I should have just thrown the lightsaber blade, but I don't think I even had...
I'm too quick for you!
Winners go home and fuck the prom queen? Yes, they do. Unfortunately, I'm not a winner. I was never a winner. I never got the prom queen, unfortunately. Sad fact, but I was a real fucking fat nerd during high school. It was not a good time for me. Ow. Who threw... Jack. Okay, you threw that. One person voted against me, and they won on that one.
Look, here! Shakes in fear. End him! Death is coming for you. This pain means I will avenge my brothers.
There we go. Alrighty, here we go. You're betting for me, so don't push too hard. I won't push too hard this time. I'll get this one. So...
Come! Kill me if you dare!
Oh, that actually worked!
Mind is sharp! I hardly felt that! Oh, you're a quick one!
Speedy, here!
No one voted for nah, which means no, that those all go away. I did not succeed. Use push when he jumps. I should. I didn't realize I could. I didn't realize I could when I, you know, I didn't realize I could when he does that, but to be fair, I don't have a lot of force energy when I go into the fight normally, because most of the abilities I want to use force energy.
He flees! Right through. I'll break your guard, then you. Pay for the Jedi sins! You will die.
There we go.
A glancing blow.
There we go. Just because it's blockable doesn't mean it's not interruptible. I did realize that with some of the, I realized that with maybe some of the, what's-a-mahoozy, some of the enemies earlier, like the guy that, you know, raises his club really hard. I should have realized that if I could interrupt abilities, like attacks like those, I should be able to interrupt attacks like his. So, yeah. I just need to figure out how to interrupt him on, like, the force push thing, or when he decides to pick up rocks. Alright, here we go.
Come on! I've survived worse.
Right here, buddy. Help!
Oh, quick one!
Oh, I didn't.
You're too slow for me!
Hey, BD! Right here, bud.
Okay, maybe going Grandmaster may have been a bit too much, considering, like, he's the only, like, real proper boss I've gone up against since turning on Grandmaster.
Pull the lever, Grunk.
No, Jack! I can't be, like, 100% ambitious. I think I'm only, like, it's not like, I'm not, there's no hubris.
I got you! Kill the outsider!
Hit me!
Move forward! Not so bad!
Oh, I get...
Jedi!
If I get hit, my force meter goes low. That's one of the problems. That's one of the problems with my,
Fear our might!
I am going to go to the little prayer circle, refresh it, get to full health. That's probably one of my problems, is anytime I get hit, I'm losing a little bit of my force, which means that some of my, like, escape kit available to me goes away when I get hit. Z, the big Cerberus. Oh, hi there, Z. Did you change your name? Plus, these guys are
You
just...
don't have real power!
I got it. He died with honor.
Was that a hit?
Defeat him.
And weirdly enough, I just need to time it. Alright, come on. There we go. Alrighty. It looks like it's just a timing thing. Start the prediction. You would think with the number of times I've gone through this little gap, I would be going through it quicker, but so far, no. I have not been going through that gap quicker. Slow walk. Actually, you know what? I'm not gonna focus.
Totally useless. I've survived worse. Come on!
You must catch him off guard!
Back, Jedi! Oh, you're a quick one! You're too slow for me! Lucky hit!
BD! Hey, bud, stim.
All right, so do not try the jump thing, Diggy.
Let's finish this!
You will not beat me!
Maybe I do want to lower the difficulty just a touch. So, because Jedi Knight, I get it done on the first go. Jedi Grandmaster, Nope. Jack, you weren't here for the times I was kicking ass. Okay, I've got two different people saying no, don't change the difficulty then. Okay, never mind. We're not changing the difficulty.
Get the intruder!
I just need to have a better thought about this.
Strike him! Stop him from moving! Enough of this! You cannot break me! I'll end this quick! None stand before the Night Brothers.
You should do 20 squats.
Fine, I'll do the sad squats. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, these are more angry. Hang on a second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. How many times have I faced this guy? How many times have I faced him now? Because if it's been like 8 times? Alright, we're gonna try 2 more times. If I don't beat him in those next 2 times, clearly it's too high of a level, because then I'm just gonna be stuck here all night,
An intruder.
making no progress. It's been an hour and a half.
Your blows are weak. Bleed for brother.
Okay.
Mind helping me out?
Deal. Cool. All right. Still gonna run predictions because if I can consistently make it where there's going to be a prediction with a fight, people are gonna be ready for it and they're gonna be placing their bets. Let's give it a try. Meow.
Come on! I hardly felt that! Dodging won't save you! You lack finesse! Strike me down! It'll take more than that. You are not powerful enough. Only cowards run. Totally useless. Try that again.
Let's finish this!
BD, stim here. Toss me one, BD. Need an assist.
Here we go.
I hardly felt that.
Defend, Jedi! Very good, Jedi!
I love how everyone was confident I was gonna somehow win this one, despite the fact I haven't yet changed the difficulty. Alright, so that was attempt number 9. We're going to go into attempt number 10. If it doesn't succeed, we're lowering the difficulty. Just everyone was 100% confident in me winning this one somehow.
Jedi. I got you. He didn't have a chance.
And now I'm losing to these guys and losing out on, like, you know, precious whatsamahoozies. Oh. That happened. Yeah, that happened. I am going to lower it ahead. I don't, like... If I'm losing to plebeians, like, that quickly, then it's not, like... Clearly, it's not going to be working well as I hope.
Brothers, aid me!
Ow.
Shakes in fear. For my brother!
Yeah, and it's about... They're getting hit for the same amount of damage, really, so... Difficulty doesn't change that much, it just changes the... what looks to be the parry. So... Alright, let's try this one then. Add a Jedi Master instead of Jedi Grandmaster.
Staying safe back there? Good. I'm glad.
Alright, left for the single, right for the... Alright, here we go.
Good for nothing, Jedi! Try that again! Dodging won't save you! Thwarted my attack!
Toss me one, BD!
You cannot stop me! No one can! Shall not hit me! Lucky hit! Strike me down!
Look out!
I've survived. I hardly felt that.
BD, I need help.
Let's finish this.
Here we go.
Yeah.
That was nothing. Only cowards run.
Toss me one, BD.
Now you die, Marco.
He just has like a look of confidence, and then it doesn't go. Yes! Did it this time around.
What is this?
It's like you said, Malikos.
What the fuck is happening now?
Dothamir will be your grave.
Okay, we just bury him like that? Sure.
Let him lie in the dark with his secrets until death takes him.
Why'd you help me?
To rid Dothamir of that parasite.
Yay! Terran Malicos is defeated. It took me 9 attempts. And I had to lower the difficulty, but we did it. Woo!
What are you really doing here, Cal Kestis?
The ones who built this tomb, the Zepho, they created an object called the Astrium. It opens a vault on a distant planet. Inside is a list of Force-sensitive children across the galaxy. But the Empire is looking for it too.
What Empire?
The Empire. The one bent on exterminating Force-sensitive so no one can stand against it?
Then it will come for Dothamir before long, as the war did. I will help you find this Astrium.
Excellent. Neat. Alright, no skill points, unfortunately. Is there anything in the lightsaber? No, there isn't. Alrighty. Man, I should have done that, like, way sooner.
Sipping time sponsored by the_Big Cerberus.
Alright, in through the red.
The_Big Cerberus wants you to stretch. Remember to stretch.
I think I'm gonna make that redeem into just one thing now, the stretching and the hydrate. Excuse me. I think I'm gonna make it one thing, hydrating and stretch. I'm just gonna combine it into care package. So it's just gonna be like, you know, get up, take a sips and all that kind of stuff. A healthy zebra is a good zebra. I agree. I agree on those two things. Wait, is that a dead Zepho there? Just holding onto the fucking Astrum? Creepy. Alrighty, here we go. And that's ours now.
Finally found it.
It is real.
Baron, this could be the key to the next generation of Jedi.
I'm happy for you. And your Jedi. But nothing can bring back my people.
After the Purge, I was alone for a long time. In hiding, I was scared that they'd find out who I was, or what I was.
What changed?
A very good friend of mine told me to go out and find my place in the galaxy.
And you listened?
Well, no. But...
Wait, is that metal thingy-majiggy on the flight jacket the Respawn logo?
Now here I am.
Hang on.
Or at least expected.
A path forward.
Not exactly, never mind. Sorry, I thought, because the Respawn has like these dots, and I saw on the metal thingy-majiggy...
You will?
Oh, kind of. One side of it has it.
Waiting for a chance to avenge my sisters. I'm finished waiting.
You won while I was away?
I wish to fight by your side.
I had to lower the difficulty just one level, and that's how I was able to win.
Do not travel together, but survivors. We adapt.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess we do. What do you think, BD?
Yay, BD's happy.
My crew, they might take a little bit of convincing, though.
Then we'll convince them.
Wait, something doesn't feel right about this. Hang on a second. Nah, this feels a bit too high. This feels better. Okay, cool. I think the gas canister in my seat, like, it went down a little bit. So I'm technically, like, a little bit taller right now. Actually, I should probably fix it. Hang on a sec. Beep. There we go. I'm sitting up just, like, a little bit taller right now. Oh. Weird beasts.
There's no way forward.
Here we go.
You were testing me?
And you passed. Congratulations.
Are you gonna help me with this?
I'm sure you can handle it.
A little help, bud.
Oh! I just need to keep blocking and I can I didn't realize that. That's cool. That makes my life a lot simpler with those enemies.
Who is she?
See her? Wait, how do you know about her?
I have seen your companions. Marikos wanted me to attack them, but they posed no threat.
See her, well, she used to be a Jedi. It's a long story.
I would like to
You gotta
learn
go
it.
now. Lots of dog kisses for Zeebs and everyone. Not to worry, Z. Thank you so much for dropping in, checking things out. I very much appreciate
I'll
it.
meet you at your ship.
Night, night. Alright, resting. Alright. Now we should be able to get through the rest of this game without, you know, spending the next half hour on a singular boss. Instead, we'll spend, you know, 15 minutes on a boss. Hey! Bounty hunters! Let's see if we can take these guys on.
Recharge! It's blocking everything! Get after it! Firing the target!
Oh, come on! Here it comes!
Boosting! He's on the move! Got a fix on him!
Put some effort into it.
There we go.
Looks like your bounty's all mine! Hey, you're a dangerous one!
Oh. Well, I won that one. Bing and Bong are dead. Wow. No one thought I was gonna beat them. For shame. For shame. Choose the outcome. Did I win that fight? Yes, I did. The prediction poll wasn't even finished picking its shots.
Hello.
Hi there, Hendrix. Welcome to the stream. Hopefully you're doing all right. I was playing at grandmaster, but now I'm down to... Now I'm at just Jedi Master. So hang on a sec. I need to adjust my title. Trying to finish the game at Jedi Master before I go to sleep. Parentheses. Grand Master made me cry. Done. So yeah, doing okay. Prepping to pass out soon. Fair enoughsies. So long as it's just, you know. So long as it's just to, you know, get to the sleepies instead of actually passing out. There we go. Alright, I'm doing a lot better at this now. except for that part there. Oh! Okay. Didn't realize this was here. It's almost 3 a.m. Need to be ready to work by 10 a.m. Ah, okay.
Night Sister survived. Something about her is familiar.
Well, yeah, because it was Marine. I can't wait to play this game when it comes out on Friday night. Like, the reason why I think it's Friday night is because if I buy this on, if I buy it on PC, it has to follow the rules of midnight in the rest of the world, which I think some people have interpreted it might be like 2 p.m. Friday my time. But since I want to purchase it via the PlayStation, it's instead going to be Friday night midnight for the region the PlayStation is in, I believe. Which means that so I would be able to start it at my midnight rather than starting it at Whatsamahoozy at 2 p.m. the day.
You found it.
Oh, well, who's this? What's that supposed to
Steam tells me it won't be ready
I'll be joining you.
by the 27th.
Grease. This is Mary.
Let's see, 25
She's a witch, isn't she?
A night
is...
sister. Your fear is unnecessary.
I couldn't have gotten the Astrium without her. We fought Malicos together.
So 25 is a Tuesday, 26 is a Wednesday, 27
and we trust you.
is a Thursday. Okay, sorry, 28th.
We'll have to
28th, sorry. So...
Fine. Grab some seat. She doesn't try anything funny.
Welcome aboard.
So long as he doesn't try anything funny.
You.
She does not believe him when he says that.
I don't know what you're saying.
She doesn't speak binary. That's actually the language that they're talking about, binary.
We'll talk later.
Alright, so we got... I feel like we're missing 2 things in the terrarium.
Just let me know when you want to go.
Alright, I guess that's how we're playing it. Alrighty, hit the thingy.
Where are we headed?
Back to Bogano.
Headed to Bogano.
We should be able to use the Astrum to, like, get out of there.
Anyone else hear that weird noise earlier?
No, I didn't hear anything. But my meditation helps me focus out many distractions.
I don't know. It's not a normal sound the Manus makes. Sounded like it came from inside, too.
Like a stowaway? They'd have to be pretty small, Grease. This ship isn't that big.
Maybe. Could be. I have been missing some food lately. Weird smells. Oh, the droid smell?
Not that I'm aware of.
Oh, they're talking about the thingy-madiggy that I hid.
All right, I'll do more investigating. If I find something, I'll let you know.
Can't wait.
They're talking about the thingy-madiggy I got from
All right,
Bogdo.
kids, sit down. We're here.
BD flashes your current health like in Dead Space. I didn't think it was an accurate sort of flashing, because it just sort of randomly goes like green and red during like loading sequences sometimes.
You can make it work.
She's right.
Oh, hey, is anybody hungry? I was thinking of whipping up some scaz steaks. I'm sorry, am I interrupting?
No,
Yes.
Captain. And we couldn't have gotten this far without you.
Oh, well,
It's true, Grease.
thank you. Hey, I hope you get in there and you find that hollow thing.
Holocron.
Are you sure it's something you should find?
Well,
What do you mean?
they think so.
The children on that list. If you take them from their homes to train as Jedi, won't they be hunted like you?
It has to be kept out of the hands of the Empire.
It'll help us put an end to the Empire.
Oh, hey, change of plans, we're arriving.
Oh, Grease.
Yeah?
I take my steak rare.
Huh? Okay, now we're cooking.
Lol. Imagine taking a steak rare. Just having all those, like, just juices or whatever, just being like squishies. It's like practically red in the middle. Like, how would you eat that? Who's this Jedi-looking Andy? It's me! I'm the Jedi-looking Andy Blue. How's it going? Hopefully you're doing okay. See? No, I'm green. He just turns red sometimes.
There's
What's her
something
thoughts?
weird about this place. The energy is different here.
Yeah, it's different than Dathomir.
Yes. Dathomir is intricate. Its ancient power emanates from the shadows. Bogano feels more simplistic, and yet I can't figure it out.
Bogano is special. There's a reason the Zepho built their vault here.
Where your holocron waits. Hidden.
What are you getting at?
This planet has remained nearly untouched for centuries.
She would have
Were the
preferred it
lives
we
you seek
remained
to
it
protect
unstuck.
really in danger before you intervened?
People who have steaks well done are freaks. Okay, but at least it's cooked, Blue. Like, you know, I'm particularly for the medium or the medium well. Like, I'm not gonna go well done. I feel like that's too cooked. But I feel like rare is too, that's undercooked for me personally. That feels like too little cooking. Talking about steak and much you want it cooked. So yeah, I'd go for a medium.
We're definitely not on Dathomir anymore.
No, we are not.
Is it how you imagined? The rest of the galaxy, I mean?
It is so vast. I see now my life on Dathomir was limited.
I felt the same way about leaving Brock.
Rare to medium rare is your
It feels
taste?
small when you're trapped
Sounds
by
like a
past.
fucking
I think I
carnivore.
will like my time aboard the Mantis.
Alright. And then what's hers?
Cal, got a second? You've been through a lot to get here. But the vault is still an unknown.
Cordova put the holocron inside. That's what's important. I have to get it.
Cordova built danger into this test to protect it.
You're worried about me.
I don't want to train all those younglings alone.
I'll be fine, Seer. Plus, I've got BD with me.
Yeah.
I know. Just be careful. This might be unlike anything you two have
USB
faced
going
before.
to heck and back.
Thanks.
Yeah, someone go
ready.
bonk Blue.
The both of us.
Someone bonk Blue for their
Take care.
weird ass taste in steak level. Like, having rare seems weird. Real weird. We don't talk about the people who boil their steak in the dishwasher. Cool, I can now open this chest.
Just need to know, don't you? Come on, buddy. Let's take a look.
Oh, it's a new lightsaber sleeve. Cool. Didn't think I'd get one of those.
Something cool? Find something, buddy?
Where's the lightsaber thingy? There it is. Alright, it was a new sleeve, I believe. Ah, the sleeve doesn't look as cool as what I've currently got, so... Never mind. Having rare isn't weird. The people who ask for their burgers to be medium rare is a different story. Who orders a burger anything but cooked properly? Well, here's the thing is... burgers are not steaks, okay? A steak is like a through and through sort of like meat that hasn't been grinded or minced or anything like that. A burger is a minced meat with a mixture of fat and actual like red.
Glad you're excited.
That needs to be cooked thoroughly. You can't be like,
My friend,
oh, let me just, you know,
examinations of the sphere prove fruitful.
let me just turn it into like a half-cooked thing. I'm kind of going at this very backwardsy. Alrighty. Through here. Run across. Milk steak is not a real thing. Don't lie to me. Can I stand up? I'm standing up right now. Ah! Well, let me clarify. The zebra is always standing up. Do I have legs? Yes, I do have legs. 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 This is a full-body zebra.
Something weird.
Okay,
be
so fine.
I think it's the astrium. The closer we get to the bulb, the stronger it feels.
My
Careful,
day do
buddy.
be so
we still
fine.
don't know how this thing works.
But yeah, Kool-Aid pickles is a very weird thing. You guys are making shit up, I feel. Like, Blue, that sounds made up beyond belief. I don't believe you one bit with that Kool-Aid pickles shit.
Here we go, BD.
And then we enter into this weird spot, and it just suddenly gets all the bigger. Alright, so we put the thingy-majiggy in here. Kool-Aid pickles is real. I still don't believe you. Alright, let's see
Amazing.
what happens.
The vault itself is built like a giant holocron. They're linked. Something about that wall. We're close. Let's check it out.
And it's got a cool reflection. Ow. I'm not searching it up right now. I'm busy playing a video game, Blue. I gotta finish this before the end of the night.
I offer this record of our civilization to those who will follow. Despite our wisdom and technological achievement, we face extinction.
Uh-huh.
Dogma blinded us to the path of balance, and gradually we allowed our pride to corrupt us. The greater control we sought, the further we fell into ruin. I lead the remnants of my people into the great unknown, hoping that we will finally find peace.
So, I'm guessing they had like a binary, like, good and evil system as well, and in their attempt to, like, you know, be 100% good or 100% evil, they, you know, slowly got corrupted and everything became evil or something or rather. Kind of like the
I shall
Jedi.
teach them the ways of the Force.
Master Kestis.
We shall begin with physical preparation.
What is the Force?
Gather round, everyone.
Master Kestis, do you think the Empire will find us?
Huh. Gray Force users is the way to go, a balance of the both. Yeah, but here's the thing, is that the only demonstration we have of the Gray Force outside of Legends is the actual, like, what's-a-mahoozy, it's either creatures that do not take part in the Jedi v Sith sort of problems that go off, so really they're just being complicit to any of the problems with that the Sith are bringing along, or it's, in this case for the Clone Wars, it's the quote-unquote the Father, who we can see as sort of like this, you know, leader or something weird about the Force that itself, and he is like a balance between good and evil. The Bendu, yeah, no, the Bendu were passive as fuck. They were not going to take part into the because of the evils of the universe. That was going, like, the Sith were clearly evil and were able to take over the entire universe. Meanwhile, aisle, like Bendu and his peeps were just sort of like, nah, bruv. Who cares about, you know, the oppression of freedoms and of the masses? Everyone is fine in the inner rims, and no one is doing well in the outer rims.
It's the Empire!
Master, shall we fight them?
They're coming!
This is...
The Inquisitors have found us!
not good.
To the trenches!
At all.
Keep going!
Protect yourself!
Just trying to make our way through trenches. Hi there, I'm Dark King Shiro. Welcome back. Hopefully you're doing all right. We're getting through to the end of Jedi Fallen Order.
Capture the younglings. Kill the rest. They're fast. Keep firing.
Cool. At least the Padawans are, like, strong.
Keep searching. They can't have gotten far. Target sighted.
Help me, Master Kestis!
Moving in.
Okay. The original Jedi had a balance of both in the beginning from what you've heard? Yeah, but that's like legends. We don't know if that was actually something that the Jedi did. And what's more is the balance of like Jedi v Sith isn't like, oh, the balance of good and evil. It wasn't like the Jedi were gonna, you know, they weren't like Khonshu in the Moon Knight where they were like, you know, saying of like, oh, they're like, you can't have any evil thoughts or anything like that. It's terrible. Like they were, it's, I don't know. The Jedi versus Sith is a bit of an interesting one because Jedi, you know, is that whole just wholly evil. It's not actually like, oh, feeling emotion is a good thing. It's like, nope, they are very much forcing you to... Like, the whole Sith thing is very much, we will manipulate your emotions for negativity, because that's where the actual... It was very classical evil shit. Not, oh, we're just broken people trying to make our way in the galaxy. So...
Cal Kestis. Surrender now, and we may spare the youngest. That's right. On your knees.
Not great. This is why I like the Grey Jedi. It's the one who all care about... The ones who only care about themselves. Ah, yes, like Bendu.
What's gonna happen?
Let's get out of here. They know only themselves as, you know, thingy. Yeah. Oh no! In this like Force vision, we are now the Inquisitor with a red lightsaber. It's almost as if the Zepho are giving us a warning about following dogmatic Jedi order. Man, wouldn't it be great if like the sequel trilogy did a message about, you know, compromise and, you know, having a balance of, you know, dogma versus new age? Wouldn't it have been great? Instead of, you know, what The Force Awakens and The Return of Skywalker did. You know, actually have some really interesting insights like they did in The Last Jedi. Please don't jump the camera. What he saw. Tradition and dogma versus modernization and revolutionary change. No, more like, so tradition and dogma versus empathy and compromise. Because like dogma and modernization aren't, you know, juxtaposed. Like, considering like, you know, you have, you know, these religious super churches and shit existing in today's age and what have you. have you? Dogma and modernization, you know, can go hand in hand. Tradition is the one that's actually against the two because it's, you know, trying to be against change. Dogma can force tradition to be, you know, going on for as long as it wants because what it wants to do is it pushes an us versus them. That's one of the reasons why tradition is kind of a dangerous thing to have, is because it forces you to come to a conclusion without, you know, thinking of the other side or empathy or compromise. You read that Luke knew that the Jedi had to change too? Yeah. Unfortunately, we'll never know what his Jedi temple was gonna be and shit like that, because that shit was gone before we got into the sequel trilogy, and the only hint we got of it was in The Mandalorian, it was, no, not in The Mandalorian. It was in the Book of Boba Fett for one episode, and it looked like we were just gonna get the exact same fucking Jedi as we got back in the prequels, because you had Luke Skywalker, of all people, being like, here is a lightsaber, Grogu, and here is the Mandalorian steel that your father, the man who raised you and kept you safe all this time, is gonna gift you. Unfortunately, you cannot have both, because the Jedi do not like attachment. Never mind the fact that I, you know, clung to the idea of my father and pulled him out from being a Nazi, and that made him change his ways. But yeah, like, Luke looked like he was very much just gonna be the same Jedi from the prequels, with the one episode we got of his actual, like, Jedi temple construction and shit. Meanwhile, in the sequel trilogy, we get when he's gone down, like, that path and realized, oh, there's, you know, he just had his whole, you know, he cashed in after a big loss and just couldn't keep on going. Like, we have no actual good idea what his Jedi, like, academy / temple was actually going to be like, besides those two instances. Legends, you know, has a lot of continuity, weird fuckery going off left and right, but everyone was seeing, you know, Luke was going to be like sort of a modernization of the Jedi and such. Because Jedi, I think there was like a mix on whether he was just sticking staunchly to Jedi tradition, or if he was actually going to bring in some level of attachment, but it wasn't going to be like, you know, concrete attachment such as, you know, a wife or kids. It was more rather going to be more symbolic attachments such as, you know, the feelings of love and compassion and empathy. Don't bonk me. This fandom is my shit. I may talk shit about some of the sequel trilogies, except for The Last Jedi. I'm not gonna hate on the fans, however. They can like whatever it is they want.
Uncharacteristically prescient of you. Here I thought your greatest virtue was your dogged persistence as you stumbled from one debacle to the next.
Guess you made a mistake not killing me on Brockett then.
A scant mercy. I wagered one meaningless Padawan against a prize that will win me the Emperor's favor.
You think I'm gonna let you walk away with the holocron?
Of course not.
You going to bed? Not to worry, Sky.
But yours has cost you the lives of all the Force-sensitive children on that list, as well as your own.
Like you said, Trilla, I'm persistent.
Alrighty then.
Weak technique.
Oh, interesting. No. Oh. Not good. It's the eyeshadow. That's how she gets the unhinged eyes.
It's been through hell.
Oh no, he's going to have a war flashback. Another Order 66 war flashback.
We need to stick together.
No. I'm going to lure them away, and then I'm going to circle back. Stay with the younglings, Trilla. May the Force be with you.
Master, don't leave us!
Oh, she don't feel good.
What's going to happen?
It's okay.
Oh, the thing is, it's okay. The youngling's crying. I forgot the Rododin. The Rogadin? No, the Ronadin. Oh, and there she is, getting her torture. Rodian, thank you. Interesting that the saber gives her all these memories, despite the fact she only would have gotten the saber at this point.
Triller. No. No.
Also, red is a terrible color to, like, look through. You're gonna miss out on a few details, I feel, if you're gonna be, like, you know, looking through the world in a red tint. And now we have to run through the problem that we do not have the holocron, and we're gonna have to go to the Inquisition headquarters to go and get it. Now the real question, do we count this as a victory? An Inquisitor is born. Oopsie daisies. Croissant blade, easy victory. All right, I'll take that as a victory then. We'll need to do it again further down, because I know we're gonna face her further down the line. Easy win. Here we go. Oh no, the Empire. What am I gonna do against...
Attack him quickly! Be on your guard! Take that! I've got you! Moving back.
Thank you for the... No! Thank you for the Hyper Himbo, bestest boy! Alrighty, then. Here we go. And, of course, you had to steal my shirt. Also, hi there, Gooey Arts. Welcome to the stream. We are running for our lives back to the ship to get to the ending.
Just need to focus.
Get fucked, Stormtrooper. You have no idea how to handle me. Cookie for bestest boy. You can use pull to pull out the tongue of those frogs. Oh, I didn't know I could pull them out. That's convenient to know. Although, fun fact, Hendrix. No spoilers, please. I have played through this game before. Now, I wasn't able to know about some of those things, but I was able to get through this.
I saw what happened.
Oh no, you saw what happened.
What you both went through. I'm so sorry. I was arrogant, I was foolish. I could never understand what you went through. She has a holocron.
Oh, no.
I don't know where she's taking it.
You considered spoilers a story thing? No, it's
I'm
okay.
responsible for the path that Trilla is on.
Excuse me. What the fuck is with my left leg? Hang on,
And
sorry.
what she does next
I'm
is
gonna
the
just
cost
stand up for a second.
of all
and
of my mistakes.
Give my legs a stretch.
Our mistakes are in the past. And it's all of our responsibility, and it's about what we do next that's important. You taught me that, Seer.
Big stretch.
You're right. I know where she's taking it. There's a fortress.
Quote 99.
Where they take Jedi.
First aid kiss.
Where the
gives
Inquisitors
you
come
help.
from. It's a place of torture. It's the place I escaped. I just never thought I'd be going back there.
Yeah,
be
but
going
follow-up question: how did you escape from an? Because you're basically on an island in the middle of the fucking ocean on a planet.
No. I'll have a Jedi with me.
Oh, look at her embracing the Jedi way
Neil.
again. Only this time she's using a lightsaber with a corrupted red kyber crystal. This isn't problematic to look at.
By the right of the Council, by the will of the Force, Cal Kestis. Rise, Jedi Knight. You are ready.
Well, no, it's not that she had the Force too. She kind of did the same thing that Cal did, where she kind of disconnected from it for a bit because of her actions in the fortress that, you know, the one she escaped from. So that's why she wasn't able to do a lot of the things that we were able to do to get, you know, to get to where we are now.
You're making good progress, Cal.
Cool. We are going to infiltrate the, whatsamahoozies. Oh, we're just going to Nur. We're just going straight to Nur, then. I thought it was like one of Nur's moons or something like that.
This Cordova guy is really putting some wear and tear on my ship.
She's just skipping years of training and calling him a knight? Excuse me, Shiro. Cal Kestis not only was a Jedi Padawan during the Clone Wars, but is one of the few survivors of Order 66. I would like to think that if any Jedi have somehow been able to survive over Order 66, then that just, you know, naturally gives them a promotion. You know, like how, you know, when a university burns down or explodes, everyone at the university gets a bachelor's degree for their efforts.
We're about to drop out of hyperspace. Sit down.
Like, fun fact, if a university blows up or burns down, everyone attending the university gets themselves a degree for their troubles.
This isn't good. With the defenses they got, our usual tricks just aren't gonna cut it.
I can help.
What are you thinking?
A ritual. It will hide the ship, I hope.
A ritual?
She has a knack for this kind of stuff.
Wait,
she has a knack.
Hold on now. What is this gonna require?
A sacrifice.
Welcome back, Furry Cures.
One of your arms will do nicely.
Wait, what?
Don't be so serious. Join me up front.
Grease is just like, we're doing fucking magic to hide the ship. Is it actually a long list of survivors? It's not that long of a list, is it? Like, hang on a second. Cal Kestis, Kanan Jarrus, Ahsoka Tano, Obi-Wan Kenobi. So we're up to 4. You know what? I'll give you Quinlan Voss. It's possible that Quinlan Voss is still alive. So we're up to 5 right now. Oh yeah. Whatsamahoozy, Taryn Marlowe. Sarah. Trelio? Who the fuck is Trelio? It's not... Okay, hang on a sec. Jedi who survived Order 66. Let's have a look at the full list of in-canon characters. The girl you just fought. No, 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 no. We are not including Jedi that get converted into Inquisitors, okay? Because clearly they're not, you know, quote-unquote Jedi. Surviving Jedi, I would argue, are Jedi that could arguably have been existing, you know, post the prequels, and getting close to the actual Whatsamahuzi original trilogy. Now, obviously, someone like Kanan Jarrus, you know, didn't survive up to the original trilogy, but he did survive for a substantial amount of time. Screen Rant? Yeah, I'm on Screen Rant right now. Ezra Bridger, by the way, was not a Jedi that survived Order 66. Ezra Bridger is a Jedi Padawan after the events of Order 66. All right, Yoda, Obi-Wan, Ahsoka, Maul, Kelleran, Beck, and Groth. I totally forgot about Kelleran Beck. No, I am not including the Grand Inquisitor. Why do you do this to me? Why do you do this? What's the difference? What do you mean, what's the difference? Kanan Jarrus was a Padawan before the events of Order 66. He was a Jedi prior to Order 66. Order 66 happens, and, you know, and then he escaped and such like that, and, you know, was able to survive for a number of years until, I think, a year or two before the original trilogy. Ezra Bridger was not a Jedi. He was a Force-sensitive kid. He became a pupil of but he wasn't a Jedi. He wasn't a youngling or a Padawan during the prequel or at the events of Order 66. Well, just because you're Force-sensitive doesn't mean you're a Jedi. Let's see. Luminara Unduli. Where was she? She was captured and taken to the Spire. She was executed by the Grand Inquisitor not long after. Keeps her remains in thingamadiggies. Reva, no, don't give me the sisters. Sarah Dune, Cal Kestis, yep. Terran Malicos, yep. Jocasta Nu, oh yeah, she was the librarian. Oh, Gungi! That's the name of the Wookiee youngling. He's alive. We see him in The Bad Batch, Season 2. Farron Barr, Eth Koth, Zubian and company. There's not too many of them. It's not like an extensively long list, but yeah, Ezra Bridger is not a survivor of Order 66. They were not part of the Jedi Order or anything like that during the prequels or during Gungi. No, Gungi,
Sisters.
not K, G.
Mother.
G, so
Lend me
G-U-N-G-I. They were a Wookiee Padawan in the Clone Wars TV show.
Whatever she's doing, it's working.
What do you think the odds are?
My money's on you, kid.
Technically, they survived Order 66 before they were turned into Inquisitors.
Let's go, buddy.
Once we're inside, I'll engage their defense level, and then sabotage their sensors so the Mantis can extract us. You find the holocron.
Shall we stick together?
I feel the pull. The lives of every child on that list are at stake. Whatever happens in there and whatever you see, don't worry about me. Just get it and get out.
Close in on the fortress.
So
it's time.
Oh, we're going into drop pods. That's what's happening. Okay, I was wondering what was going on. Oh yeah, Ezra's lightsaber was really cool. I like the idea that, because it was made from scrap parts, was the one thing, but yeah, it was cool that it was like a mixed weapon where not only was it a lightsaber, but it could then swap into like just sort of this, like similar to his slingshot that he had in the earlier part of the season. We don't get a lot of cool lightsaber designs like that. Like, besides Maul and, you know, anyone that uses the double-bladed lightsabers, cool lightsaber designs that I've seen have been Darth Tyrannus / Count Dooku's curved hilt lightsaber for, you know, a better reach and more aggression in a fencing style sort of swordplay. Gungis with the wood. Ezra Bridger because of the blaster. And maybe, you know, I might say, you know, Cal Kestis's current lightsaber because of the fact that it's a double-bladed lightsaber, but then it can get split into 2 lightsabers briefly. So that's pretty cool. The saber was the lethal defense option, and the blaster was non-lethal for encounters. Yeah, and then it got destroyed when he was on Malachor 5, which was the Sag. Yeah, Vader broke it, because, like, he was able to get to the Sith holocron and unlock its secrets or something, and the Vader's just like, you have unlocked the Sith holocron. How did you do this? And he's like, you're smart, figure it out. And then he's like, I'm not afraid of you. He's like, then you will die braver than most.
Airlock 8 is clear. Listen to that water. Come on, let's get him. Hit him, blasting again. Don't stop moving. Take this, Jedi. Yeah, I got him. You'll pay for that. You're too close.
Cal, you there?
Yeah. Good to hear your voice, Seer.
I've located the holocron. Sending you the location now.
Got it.
All right, we got a long way to go. Yep, we got a long way to go.
You cannot escape.
I'm stepping back. Keep your heads down.
All right, let's see if he breaks him down. Almost.
Quick, get him. I got you. Don't let up.
Bam.
Scanner's failing.
Mine. Hostile attention. Don't fall yet. Don't let up.
Another.
Aim higher. Good, they were just in the way. I'm going to draw this out. You'll be next. I won't let you kill me.
Yeah, I did it anyway. Here we go.
You're too quick. I'm not so easily defeated. We're next. I knew he would run.
Alright, what did I miss? Yeah, Vader broke it. What do you think of the Darksaber?
They tortured Seer.
I reckon the
Trilla to the dark
Darksaber was a
side.
pretty cool idea
down
when we
81.
first saw it in the Clone Wars. Considering, like, a Mandalorian crossed Jedi was something we heard in Legends, but it wasn't something that was, like, you know, a regular thing in Legends either.
Do this.
So it was cool when it happened, but oh my goodness, the Mandalorians need to kind of like chill with the whole, oh, the Darksaber is so important for our, you know, culture and for ruling people. And it's like, no, it fucking ain't. It was with the Jedi for a really long fucking time until, you know, people from Vizsla decided to... Why won't you... Wait, oh, I see. There we go. And then... Nope, no. Oh. Yep, cool. Kept it there. Excellent.
Whoa, see that, BD? Well, that did something.
So,
let's check it out.
At least can make double blade without the spin function and split for the dual wield. Yeah.
I've disabled the shields on the outer
Beskar would be really rare to get though, so I wouldn't be too annoyed in not being. I wouldn't be too annoyed in not getting Beskar's medal for.
Let's go, BD.
For What's-a-Mahoozy for
That section looks pretty weak.
Oh, wait. Hang on. Oh, wait, no, that shit's closed, which means... Oh.
Ready for a swim, BD? Hang on.
Oh, we're just gonna swim this entire way. Never mind. Okay. So, after the Purge, the Empire would have had a bunch of it? Sure. Where the fuck are you trying to go? Just let me... There we go. So yeah, and as we know, like, has people seen The Mandalorian yet? There's been stuff going off in Season 3. I don't want to share too much. Wait, hang on. Am I meant to be going out? Oh, I must be. Yep, I'm meant to be going out. Okay. I forget my routes, okay? I forget which way I need to go in this thing. Oh, look at us. We killed all these stormtroopers with barely... Oh, cool. You've seen it? Cool. Normal longsword kind of fighting, Aikido, and then Darth Maul's fighting, to Ahsoka's kind of fighting, but not in a reverse grip. Plus your sabers have changed. They have changed. I didn't trust you.
Getting closer.
An intruder! You wanna handle this? I can't fight anymore!
There we go. I'm just too good.
It's like the dojo at the Jedi Temple. Wrong. Corrupted.
What happens if I interact with this? Oh, I see. It makes it so that there's a... Where are you going? Oh, to slice that open. Cool. You've never seen The Mandalorian? I recommend you see it, Masonic. It's fairly good.
After him. Hear me. The Jedi's injured. The guard persists. Move forward. Just... I will not miss. Face me, coward. He's fleeing. Track him. We will wipe out all traitors. Take that. You're slow. The child fears us. We'll fall.
There we go.
You're alone now.
And that's both of them dead. No, Empire Sith.
All right. Let's look.
Get up here. I'm after him.
Help, BD!
Cover me. Fight him! Our last flame trooper is down. Keep focus. Won't survive much longer. Please.
You will regret that.
There we go. You refuse to pay Disney, though, to watch their Disney Plus? Fair enough, but unfortunately, they own all the... hello, droids.
Someone else get up here! You can't escape us! I can't hit him! Can't stop him! I'll make you pay! Sit!
There we go. Oh, never mind. He's not dead yet. Now he will. Bam. And now there's all kinds of vibration going on.
Flash attack! Oh, I'm wounded! Enter him!
Enemy avoiding attack.
Stim, please!
Oh, that's cool. He made the thingy-majiggy. Scrap it, managing their franchise and ruin source material. I don't know about that, considering their catalog is really fucking big. Oh, Jesus. That's a rocket.
Keep attacking him! Move up! Heavy support down! Face me, coward! Sluggish!
Large damage initiated.
Okay. I'll destroy that creature!
Okay, you're in the corner. Never mind. Yep, they should be taken care of relatively shortly. And we just need that thing to...
I'll stop you!
Alright, so yeah, I think Disney, is still just a bit... It's a bit too big to be able to argue whether they're really bad or really good. I think the problem is that, you know, they're holding on to their franchises and their IPs, like, way too strongly. There's no good way to counter them or anything like that, so long as they have their control. So if it's just on the premise of they control their IP, I think they, you know, they're probably the best in the business right now, because there's no way you can pull it from them. As far as best in creativity, nah, I don't think so. There's definitely more creative like, you know, artists and creators out there. Like Image Comics, for instance, does a lot better of a job in deconstruction of heroes and such than anytime Disney has tried to do it with their Marvel IPs right now. Because it's like, oh, cool, here's Captain America, a, you know, hero that was made solely for the American, you know, industrial war complex, and while had some metrics of, being seen as, strongly liberal, such as punching Hitler like a year or two before America even went into the war, in today's day and age, it doesn't hit the same as some of the superheroes you can get now. No, I'm gonna wait until we get up to level 3. Hero deconstruction makes me sad. Here's the thing, is hero deconstruction done by Watchmen and Omni-Man, sorry, not Omni-Man, Invincible, those are really good hero deconstructions. Hero reconstructions that are just, oh, what if Superman but evil? That's boring. No one gives a shit, because considering we haven't seen considering since, any attempts in just making, oh, what if Superman but evil, have just been, like, really fucking boring.
Die!
There we go. So yeah, but what if Superman but a communist? Well, here's the thing, is Superman Red Sun is not the worst deconstruction we've had. Injustice Superman is not that great of a deconstruction.
A worthy challenge!
Man of Steel is not that good of a deconstruction.
That's the last of them.
Cal,
so, because here's the thing, is
look for a
the issue with Superman being, and any IP that's, like, for example, there's this one where it was, like, this kid or something like that got, like, superpowers or some shit like that, and had a red, firefighter mask or some shit like that, and turned evil and shit. It's like, that was an attempt in doing a deconstruction of Superman, but they all just come off really bad, because no one has done a good job in making Superman look cool in the modern cinema so far. Like, Christopher Reeve Superman, was back in the fucking 60s, and we've not done better than that.
Hey, you should do 20 squats.
Don't worry about
we have done better in a lot of superheroes since then, Batman included, but we've not done any improvements or anything better in Superman compared to when we did them back in the 1960s with, like, Christopher Reeves or whatever his name is. Or was it 1990s?
I understand.
Early.
Let's keep moving.
Yes.
A lot of late Frank Miller later stories makes Batman have really fascist ideals.
Not yet. The holocron is being kept in the interrogation chamber.
Batman doesn't have fascist ideas, he just has very,
I'm opening the path to the holocron.
Capitalist ideas, considering he is a rich man who is his own private military, enacting justice on criminals rather than doing, like, any extensive sort of, change to the city or anything like that. Now, you could argue that it's because, the city is corrupt beyond belief in the, it's corrupt beyond belief in Gotham exclusively, which was, like, kind of what the latest Batman film we got was all about, but, not very many people touch upon, oh, Gotham is so hugely corrupt that even the police force is simply just the mob or shit like that. Because unfortunately, if comic books went with that kind of logic of, oh, Gotham, the police are just a different kind of mob and shit like that, no police force would ever want to give consultation to Warner Brothers on any of their police procedural dramas. All-Star Batman and Robin and his ideas are pretty totalitarian fascist? Oh, shit. I have not read that. Oh, wait. Am I going the wrong way? Hang on. Yes, I'm going the wrong way. I'm meant to be going this way. What did you come into? You just came into a point where people are like really tired of deconstructed heroes, but the point that people are tired of poorly deconstructed heroes.
It's like a turbo
and
lift.
everyone's
Might be our
idea of
ticket
like
outta
the
here.
bad deconstructed heroes is always back towards the ones that are like, you know, normally the deconstructions of Batman, for instance. Sorry, not Batman. The deconstruction of Superman. He talks about Superman and Green Lantern being idiots for not just taking total control of the planet. Yep. That's why he has contingency plans up the wazoo for any of the time that they decide to do that. Because they have missed their opportunity in being able to do so the minute Batman was aware of how they work and the countermeasures required. But to be fair as well, it's like, Batman is a shit crime fighter.
BD1?
Batman as a detective, however, would be a lot more fun, and we don't get a lot of detective Batmans. The closest detective Batmans we've gotten is the most recent Batman we've got with,
for the Empire.
what's Mahuzi? Robert Patterson. That, because that one had, like, very Seven sort of vibes to it, and then you redeem Squats. Oh, yeah, sorry. And then, The Dark Knight. That was the closest we got to Detective Batman, because that was less about the fighting and more about, like, the investigation and, you know, logic. Big stretch! Here we go. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, I'm doing them right now, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Thank you for the 20 squats. Greatly appreciate it. Say this for Frank, he still refuses to actually kill people. Not, well, unless, if you're talking about modern Frank, I don't know, because I haven't read modern Western comics for a really long time now. Most of them are not that great, unless it's a black label, like, Harley Quinn. That one was a good one. 7, 8, 9. I did 20. Probably just didn't hear me. But if we're talking like classic Frank times, the what's Mahuzi? Classic comic books, there was like the Hays Code or something crazy like that, where basically no heroes were not allowed to kill people outright. Even if you wanted to do like a dark and brooding sort of character like the Batman, you couldn't have him kill people. So the only reason Batman has the whole no-kill rule is less because of, you know, his backing of like, oh, it's one step too far and shit like that. It's more from the fact that he was created at a time where heroes were not allowed to be able to kill people. So there was a lot of work that had to go into, oh, how he is not responsible for the people that die or anything like that. So
He broke them, beat
yeah.
them down, and turned them to the dark side.
So, when does Batman enter the public domain? Hang on a second. There is a point in time in which Batman enters the public domain. Comic book characters entering the public domain year. 2034. Let's have a look. Beginning in 2034, DC's most prominent characters and some of the most well-recognized in the world will enter the public domain, at which point they could be up for grabs for companies outside of DC and its parent use. Let's see. Under U.S. law, works introduced before 1978 enter the public domain 95 years after they were first published, officially taking effect the following Jan 1st. In the case of Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman, they first made their publicated appearances in 1938, 1939, and 1941. So therefore, Superman will enter the public domain on Jan 1st, 2034, Batman on Jan 1st, 2035, Wonder Woman in Jan 1st, 2037. So those are the big three. Warner Brothers Discovery would likely fight that, which they would. Anyone looking to take advantage of them being in the public would face an uphill battle.
I sent you something interesting regarding characters entering PD.
I had to close Discord, sorry, because it takes up resources. Alright. Close this. Waiting for Discord to load. I imagine I'm going to have like a lot of dropped frames shortly. Oh, it's a watch it later thing, not a read it right now thing? I was hoping it was a read thing. Oh, it's the film theory thing about Winnie the Pooh. Yeah, Winnie the Pooh has entered the public domain for a very long time. There have been plenty of potentially derivative works of the characters. In other words, the copyright holder DC creates a second separate work based on the original. The Superman of 2022 is nothing like the Superman of 1938. He could only leap tall buildings in a single bound. He couldn't fly. The character has gone through multiple revisions over the years and has other comic book characters, including Batman and Woman. Comic book history is usually split into several eras. Golden Age, which covers the 1930s to the 1950s. Silver Age, which covers the late 1950s to 70s. Bronze Age, which is 1970s to the mid-1980s. Modern Age, which covers the mid-1980s to the present day.
It goes into problems of copyright versus PD.
Copyright reflects the physical image, but a trademark has a public meaning and perception that goes beyond that. It's conceptual. The trademark covers brand identity. Superman has been associated with a specific brand and storytelling at DC for years, and something else could infringe on the public's mind with what they understand Superman to be. There would be two companies in the market, and trademark law doesn't like that. Oh, wow. Companies that are in control do not actually like getting hit with competition? Who knew? Not me. It's not like we just hear this fucking rabble going off like every, year or two whenever companies are like, oh, we need to protect our interests, and the best way to do that is to stifle other people from infringing upon it. Never mind the fact that we may not enact on it. Oh yeah, this is most likely going to turn into a fight. I can see this turning into a fight very shortly. Here we go. Let's have our fight. Hello. At least she gets a new sword this time, instead of, being empty-handed.
Suffer as I have. That won't change anything.
Oh, so you're gonna play like that, are you?
I need help, bud.
Real in agony.
How many secret apprentices has this got?
Too many.
Stay still.
Unless you want to, like...
Buddy!
Do you think the Inquisitor should count as the, quote-unquote, secret apprentices? Because I don't think Inquisitor should count since they gave him such a different name. Instead of, Sith.
Just like the rest of your kind.
Did I win that fight? Nah, I didn't. Let's try this again. Alright, so it starts us off here.
You'll pay dearly for that.
Stimbidi!
They should have never believed you.
It's either 100% I'm gonna win or 100% I'm not going to win. Grab moves? I didn't know there was grab moves, to be honest with you, but to be fair, normally if I was pulling the whatsamahoozy peeps, yeah, normally those guys I would be able to, because if I do the force pull, I'm technically grabbing them, but I've not demonstrated use of that. I've just been, you know, swinging my sword, or like, you know, however the fuck I want. Alrighty then. You had an idea for the Joker book yesterday. I am curious what your idea would be, quite frankly.
You'll pay dearly for that.
Stim! Hey,
oh, wow.
BD.
I'm glad that it doesn't, like, you know, just make me...
Right here, buddy.
Real in agony. Stop moving.
Buddy, help!
Annoying.
You'll pay dearly for that. Suffer as I have. Just like the rest of
What if the Joker got drafted for Vietnam? I feel like the Joker would be a product of post-Vietnam, to be honest with you. Just because of, like, the way that they've... Because the way they've given us, like, the different stories of how the Joker could have come to be. Because rather than having the Joker because in the past, the Joker has always been seen as like, oh, he's the crown prince of crime. He has come in as sort of a response to the Batman being in Gotham and what have you. That was what it was in the Golden Age. He was seen as a mobster turned leader who used the Joker motif as a way of combating the Batman. So then that way he was providing fear of a different caliber to both the mob and the police there, as opposed to Batman, who was giving fear to the mob and hope to the police. And then as we got into Silver and Bronze and Modern Age with the Joker, we then got like the different storylines of, oh, this is how the Joker could have possibly have become the Joker. So we had like, you know, it could have been any number of things. The thought is the Joker sees the world as the 50s and 60s. All of his capers being one big lead up to a punchline, taking over just so he can mix huge amounts of cement to make Rocky Road. His mind exaggerating facial expressions, blasting one of his minions with exploding pies to make an example to always smile. Those are cool. Those are interesting ideas. I like that. Alrighty. So, but yeah, I probably would have thought of the Joker like being a thing after Vietnam, or as like a product of veteran affairs after Vietnam, just because, you know, shit did not go well for Vietnam vets. You wonder how well he'd do? What, like as a soldier in Vietnam? I reckon not very well. I don't reckon he would do too well. I feel like he'd go through panic attacks. Don't like her splinting blade nonsense.
You can't win! Standing much longer. You can't escape.
I need to remember not to do the roll.
Now, BD.
You'll pay dearly for that.
Help, BD!
Oh, this is gonna be a terrible one.
Just like the rest of your kind.
Well, no one did a prediction whatsoever in that one. I am probably going to stop those then, because no one is paying attention. This also explains to the Joker how Batman always beats him, having ridiculous items like his shark repellent. I think you'll be fine if you rolled through her, though? Maybe. Alright, let's give it another try here.
Reel in agony. Know your place. You'll pay dearly for that.
that's not how I wanted to go about it. Oh, that's not good. Time for me to return to sleep and have a great rest of the stream. Not to worry, Shiro. I'm probably not going to have a good time in the stream. It's 9 p.m. and I'm on the final fight. And I've already gone down one difficulty. And I forgot how difficult Trilla is, even on the normal difficulty. This is going to be fun. Especially since I can barely follow her, like, whirly nonsense with the dual lightsaber as she is.
You'll pay dearly for that. This is the end, Padawan.
Here, buddy.
Stop moving. I'm going to enjoy ending you. Jedi will never be victorious.
Was the difficulty curve that high? Like, going from... Because, hang on. Was I on the lowest difficulty before? No, I was on this difficulty before, and then I just went to this one, Jedi Master. Well, I went to Jedi Grandmaster, and then I just got my ass kicked by the Fallen Jedi, so now I went down one difficulty. And once again.
Toss me one, BD.
That won't change anything. I look forward to giving Sir your head.
Stim.
Oh, it's this nonsense again.
I need something, buddy.
You can't leave.
Stim.
They should have never believed in you.
Ooh, boy, this is not going to be fun. Let's go again.
Just like the rest of your kind.
Fuck it, I'm going down a difficulty. I'm done with the try hard kind of feels. There's no reward! Ding, ding, ding. Jedi Knight. Alright, we're now back to, like, the original difficulty we were when we first started this game, and how I basically, like, you know, first tried nearly most of the bosses, except for the optionals.
That won't change anything. Suffer as I have. Such poor aim. Screaming agony. Up here! Over here! Right here, bud! This is the end, Padawan!
Oh, cool. So that just one-shots. Okay. Here we go. Is this fun to watch, chat?
That won't change anything.
Hey, buddy!
Such poor aim.
Trilla, I saw what you've been through. You've experienced great suffering. It's not too late to let it go.
Let go.
She's still mad.
I'm stronger now because of the pain. I knew you'd come back for this. No, thank you.
Well, at least we know where the holocron is now and who we have to fight.
You'll never make it out of this place alive!
Worth trying many times.
You'll pay dearly for that. Stop moving.
Come on.
As I have.
I need help, bud. Toss me one, BD.
Get back here! Real in agony. You'll pay dearly for that.
There we go. Note to self, we are not going higher than Jedi Knight whenever we're playing this kind of sort of game. It was a dumb idea thinking, oh hey, I'll just, you know, do predictions while on Grandmaster. Terrible idea. Never again. Never again. Also, headset just doesn't want to stay in place properly.
Nothing is ever truly over.
It's finally broken.
Is over. I know the darkness that is eating you up inside, and every day we choose to either feed it or fight it.
It's too late, sir.
No, it's not. I know the choices that I made took all your choices away, and I have failed you, Trilla.
To be fair, the Jedi did take away all choice anyway, so
I am so very sorry.
I've carried so much hate for you.
And there's the sounds of Darth Vader. I remember when this happened to me for the first time, I was absolutely gobsmacked. They kept this secret really fucking well. Look at this guy.
It isn't. It's him.
You have failed me, Inquisitor.
Avengers! Kill! Run! No!
And he just like goes, yeah, nah, doesn't want to deal with her.
You would be wise to surrender.
Yeah. Probably.
Feeble.
Now we're just having to try and get ourselves out from this situation.
We gotta run!
Yep, BD knows we just running.
Look out! Right here, buddy. Turbo lift. Let's go.
And then we
get out
interrupt
of here.
this, trying to get out of this danger spot.
Come on.
Bam.
Work. Stay back.
Lol, the lightsaber almost went through the... Alright. Few survive an encounter with the most powerful Sith in the galaxy. Escape is the only chance of survival. Let's see, what did they tell us? Darth Vader, the sinister Dark Lord of the Sith, is a mysterious figure amongst the Empire. Encounters with this machine-like man are rare and mostly deadly. Trained in the dark arts of the Force, Vader governs over the Inquisition. Cool, and then we have all these different kinds of peeps. The interesting thing is that, like, the Anakin, like, there is a series of Vader comics, which is actually rather interesting to go through, of his whole, like, you know, because, sure, we had the whole Anakin Skywalker, and he got turned to Vader, like, basically at the end of, through the span of one film. But the comics were interesting because it showed you a side of Vader where it was very reminiscent of Anakin and what have you, but you know, you were seeing all these moments where Vader was just killing that part of himself, like in each of the arcs and what have you.
Make it, Grease.
Here? Just get out of there, Cal.
Keep moving, Cal. I'm sorry.
Trying to help ourselves. Beatty. Justice Overcharge, which almost helps. And unfortunately we fail. Hi there, Micah.
Surrender the holochrome.
I'll never give it to you.
We shall see.
Not great.
I won't let you take those children.
Hi.
Such hatred. You would have made an excellent Inquisitor.
She's stronger than that. No!
Yes. Strong with the dark side.
See her.
I can feel it inside of her.
See her! Hey, listen to me! You still have a choice.
Please don't die. Oh, no, cool. Good. Oh, what? She didn't have her own rebreather? I thought she did. How are things going this evening for you, Micah? We're getting through the end of Jedi Fallen Order before we go through Jedi Survivor this Friday. Yay! Our new goth girlfriend saves us.
Hey, kid. Cal.
See her.
She's all right.
What part of the ship are we in right now?
Yeah, you too.
You did it.
We did it.
Oh, I'm literally like at the rear of the ship. I can see the workstation behind them.
Well, they're out there. Whoa, hold on, wait a minute!
Sorry.
That was you in the water, wasn't it?
Lol. Yep.
I'm glad you're okay. This one wouldn't leave your side.
Father figure.
Thank you.
Hey.
So now what?
Well, Captain, this is the end of my charter. Your contract has been fulfilled. Thank you, Grease.
Yay, thank you,
Well,
Grease.
if it's all the same to you, I was thinking that maybe I would stick around here and take you wherever you gotta go. Besides, the kid kinda looks up to me.
What about that?
Sure I do.
We use it to rebuild the Jedi Order.
The next generation of Jedi.
The Empire will be after him, just like they're after us.
The lives of every child on that list will be forever changed.
Not by us. Their destiny should be trusted to the Force.
Well, that was a waste of, like, several hours of trying to get to this holocron. At least we now, like, you know, sort of secured the idea of, like, oh yeah, the Force-sensitive kids, unless there's been another holocron that kept them and such like that. So long as that hasn't been done, they should be more than okay. But otherwise, we've just, like, ruined our best means of finding them. But yay! We reached the end. We reached the end of the Jedi Fallen Order. We no longer have to worry about this game. Yeah, there isn't any post-credit scenes with a game like that. So, pretty sure there wasn't any post-credit scenes. Let me get the music starting again. And bam. Alrighty then. Who's not dead? Sound off. Hello? Anyone? I know King Shiro had to go to sleep or something or rather. Micah, you there? Alrighty. That is that. That was a fun experience to go through again, though, overall. Probably not the part when I decided to up it to the maximum difficulty for, like, the span of 2 or 3 hours. Was not as fun as I thought it was going to be when I had to deal with actual boss fights instead of the mini-boss fights. But otherwise, yeah, fairly good. Should have just kept to Jedi Knight the entire way. Shouldn't have been effing around with, like, higher difficulties or what have you. So, yeah. I will be... So yeah, I haven't yet released a schedule out for this week. I probably should shortly because this Friday we're gonna have the Jedi Survivor game. That should be coming out this Friday for me, and I am most certainly gonna play that. And I'm gonna see if I can try and get the Jedi robes for my zebra ready. I thankfully don't have to work tomorrow, so I'm probably gonna put all my time tomorrow into that. Meanwhile, Melody of Memory, maybe I'll pick that up on the Sunday morning stream, although I'm probably more than likely going to go into, the whatsamahoozy, into the, whatsamahoozies, thingy-mabobby, cannot remember words. What is wrong with me? Hello? Hello? Brain, process, please. Ugh. Do I need a haircut? I hopefully don't need a haircut. Excuse me. But yeah, so, a few things I need to do. So tomorrow, get a schedule out. Try and get the Jedi robes and the lightsaber done for my zebra. It's most likely I'm going to get the Jedi robes at the very least done. But I don't know about the lightsaber because that might take a lot of extra stuff, especially since I still have to work Wednesday, Thursday. I'm hoping I'm able to play it like Friday midnight. I'll double check what the timing says on the PlayStation, because that's how I'm going to be playing the next Star Wars game, is via PlayStation, not through the PC like I've been doing previously. Because the PC, you know, I get a little bit of lag here and there, you may have noticed, so I'm gonna try, and that's because, you know, still no CPU. The thing that does a thing for the thing that is the thing for the thing. Yes! Thank you, M-Mine. Thank you for confusing my brain even further. Alright, hang on. If you will stick around with me, I would like to get a raid going. Let's see. Looks like Kusaki is online right now doing some Power Wash Simulator. That should be a good one for everyone to get into. Nice and calm, just, you know, power washing shit should be good. Let's see, where is he at right now? Oh, yeah, that's a nice relaxing stream. Alrighty then. Himbo Zebra is now a Jedi. That is going to be our raid message for Kusaki. I don't have any emotes to use, I'm sorry to say, but if you've got any of your own you want to use, feel free to do so. Otherwise, I want to say thank you everyone who came along to tonight's stream. I greatly appreciate it. Sorry if I didn't do too well in the game as I had hoped in Jedi Master difficulty, but, you know, I'm just not that good of a gamer, clearly. We will be picking up with the series this Friday, so I'll get a schedule released on my Twitter, which should be linked below. You're welcome to also join into my Discord to catch up there, or drop any of the memes or the pets or the arts you have, and I'll see you all next time. Bye for now. Hang on, where's the... Bye for now.